From Los Angeles back in the 1970s to St. Louis back in the late 1990s, early 2000s, and then back to Los Angeles in the late 2010s to the 2020s. From the fearsome foursome to the greatest show on turf, to just simply the LA Rams. That's Super Bowl 34, Super Bowl 56. Ram fans across the nation, Ram fans across the world. The Playmaker, Darnell Sallins here, and you have turned into Ramily Talk. Horns up, Rams house, let's go. Time to talk Rams football. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ramily Talk. From the Playmakerz Bar Network, y'all know me, your host, Darnell the Playmaker Sallins here, and I am doing this show for the first time from my new place. As y'all can see the video, those of you who be watching this on YouTube, yeah, I'm in my own apartment now. I got my own little studio going on here. Maybe one day I'll give some people a tour of it. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, you see the TV behind me, you got ESPN behind me, you see the Florida Gators over there. There, you see that Ram decal right there. That's how we rolling today in the new place. But you know how we roll on Ramily Talk. We're gonna recap what took place against the Atlanta Falcons. I'm gonna give you some news and notes that I have jotted down from the Ram site, and then we're gonna preview this week's matchup with Arizona Cardinals. But before I get started, let me give a shout out to our sponsor of Fanatics and Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus, a streaming platform where you can stream live sports, breaking news, and they have lots of entertainment from movies to TV shows, whether it's CBS, Nickelodeon, MTV, BET, Stars, whatever you enjoy, what channel you enjoy watching the most. Paramount Plus probably got it. So plans start as low as $4.99 a month, but you can get a free trial with them right now. And for Fanatics, everybody knows what Fanatics is. Final Fantasy Championship. That came from Fanatics, And with Fanatics, they have all types of deals and stuff. They have official license everything: NFL shop, NBA shop, NHL shop, MLB shop, WWE shop, whatever sports we love, they have it. And right now they have a 24-hour sale for today only. Today only, when you listen to this show, today, Thursday, September 22nd, 2022, they have a 65% off site wide for today only. Use the code COZY, COZY, when you shop today. So you take advantage of it today. You have less than 12 hours to take advantage of it. So that's what I want to get to. So now that I got the good stuff out the way, the creative stuff, let's get to it. Let's get to recapping what took place this past Sunday. It was the Atlanta Falcons in town to take on the Los Angeles Rams, a game where most people felt the Rams will be bouncing back, despite how they looked on opening night against the Buffalo Bills. They bounced back, they did, but it got scary at the end. 31-27, the Rams over the Falcons. The Rams had a 28-3 lead midway through the third quarter. And for those of you, especially Falcon fans, know the story. Atlanta Falcons had a 28-3 lead with about 16 minutes left in the game, which is like a minute in the third quarter, and the rest of the fourth quarter against the New England Patriots led by Tom Brady at Houston, at the Houston Texans Stadium. I can't think of the name of the stadium right now off the top of my head. And we know how that went over because Tom Brady has 7 freaking Super Bowl rings. So that was brought up a lot. 20-3 midway through the third quarter. And before you know it, the Falcons tried to enchanto their inner Tom Brady because they outscored the Rams 24-3 the rest of the way. The thing is, The Patriots outscored the Falcons in our Super Bowl, if I remember correctly, 29-0. The Falcons outscored us 24-3. The difference is that we actually scored to stop the bleeding, which was a field goal that sent it to 31-27. And thanks to Jalen Ramsey getting that big pick of mossing that receiver in the end zone, the Rams will be able to walk out with the final score that you see there, 31-27. Now that we got that out the way, uh, the stats from the game. Marcus Mariota, 17 for 26, 196 yards passing, 2 passing touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. We already talked about the one from Jalen Ramsey. The other one came from Kobe Durant. Good job, Kobe Durant, on getting you your first NFL interception of the season of your career. Good job. Cordell Patterson only had 10 carries for 41 yards. Drake London, the rookie wide receiver from USC, returning back home to the Los Angeles area, had 8 catches, 86 yards, and he got his first ever NFL touchdown of his NFL career. For the Rams, Matthew Stafford, 27 for 36, 272, 3 touchdowns, and 2 more interceptions. That put Matthew Stafford at 5 interceptions on the year, and I believe about 5 to 6 touchdowns on the year. We need to work on our turnovers, Matthew Stafford, but this is the past. We still moving on. Darrell Henderson led the way for rushing, 10 carries, 47 yards, and a touchdown. But Cam Akers did get his touches, 15 carries for 44 yards. Cooper Kupp led the way for the wide receivers with 11 catches, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tyler Higbee caught 7 passes for 71 yards. And then they did get Allen Robinson going early in the game. 4 catches, 53 yards, and the first touchdown of the game came to Allen Robinson. So that was how this game went for the Los Angeles Rams. Looking like a blowout, feeling good. This is what we needed to do, 28-3, and then the Falcons try to make their comeback. But all of a sudden, we put a halt to it thanks to Jalen Ramsey and company. So that is that. So as we continue to recap on this day here, we have a player of the week. Normally, now last year I did a fan player of the week voting, and it was very fun, very interactive. Got to see how the fans thought who deserved player of the week. This year, I'm going to pick the player of the week for right now, and then if I need to, I will get back into it. But I probably will because I enjoy interacting with y'all on social media. Speaking of which, before I get to the Ram player of the week, I threw a question out there to all the Rams groups on social media, mainly Facebook, and y'all help me, get myself together before Thursday got here because I threw it out there. Same question in our Rams group: should I be pissed off or should I relax? Because honestly, I didn't like what I saw from the midway through the third quarter to the fourth quarter. I didn't like what I saw and how the Falcons came back and won that game. I almost won that game, should I say? Not won the game, but almost won that game. How we had to survive that game. And all y'all say, hey, any given Sunday. Some said a win's a win. Some said relax. These things happen from time to time. Some said be pissed off because I damn sure didn't like the performance. Some said we need to get it. We need to get our act together. The Super Bowl hangover is lingering around. But mostly I was on the relaxing side. Relax. Here's a dub. We got it in. Let's move forward. And you know what? When I was previewing this game last week, and I said, "Can y'all just go one? Can y'all win this game so we can go 1-1 before we get to our divisional matchups?" And they won. They are 1-1, along with their Arizona Cardinals, along with the San Francisco 49ers, and along with the Seattle Seahawks. With San Fran being on top because they the ones that played the divisional rivalry in the Seattle Seahawks, and they took care of business with Jimmy G returning to the lineup, and prayers go out to Trey Lance. Even though this is a Rams podcast, I do want to send my prayers to Trey Lance for a speedy recovery. Didn't like the injury, and Jimmy G is back under center for the San Francisco 49ers. Now, with that being said, let me debut this for you guys. The Ram Player of the Week. And even though we didn't do the voting, I'm pretty sure y'all would not have anything doubts or any questions or anything to say about who I chose as the Ram Player of the Week, because it's none other than the man himself, the former Triple Crown wide receiver from a year ago, the Super Bowl MVP from a year ago, LB1 number 10 and number one in our hearts, Cooper Cup. Despite the fumble in the fourth quarter that helped the Falcons get back in the game, 11 catches, as I said, 108 yards, as I said, and 2 touchdowns in that game. So, Cooper Cup, Cooper Cup, Cooper Cup, Cooper Cup, our Ram Player of the Week. And as we continue to win games, there will be more Ram Players of the Week, like I did last year when I did the Fan Player of the Week. We're calling it the Ram Player of the Week, and I think that's going to stick around more longer than that. All righty there. Now that we got that out the way, I'm gonna take a break here, get a word from my sponsors, and we're gonna get ready for this weekend. I'll be right. The Playmakerz blog is proudly to announce that it is sponsored by Fanatics. Fanatics, where you can get all your official licensed sports gear, memorabilia, whether it's for the National Football League, the National Basketball Association, Major League Baseball, National Hockey League, or even International Soccer League, or even college sports. So rep your team, rep the hardware, get comfortable, because Fanatics is the way to go, where sports fans shop and official license everything. All right, welcome back to Ramily Talking. As I said earlier, Fanatics, they have a up to 65% off site-wide deal going on for today only, Thursday, September 22nd. When you do it, use the promo code COZY. That is COZY. COZY. That's the promo code you need to use. Hit that link in the show notes and you get your shopping going right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now that we got that out the way, we can give you some quick news and notes before I dive into what's going to happen on Sunday. Van Jefferson is week to week still, but he's on pace. He's on track to return soon enough. So he might be missing his third consecutive game. And then next week, when we go to San Fran for Monday Night Football, could be his season debut. Okay, that's for the wide receiver Van Jefferson. Cornerback Kobe Durant, who got his first interception of his NFL career against Marcus Mariota and the Atlanta Falcons that we talked about. He's dealing with a hamstring injury. He's day to day. He's questionable. Sound like more towards probable for this week against the Arizona Cardinals, but they could, with precautionary reasons, hold him out, give him some more time to get that hamstring right as we get ready for that Monday night game in Santa Clara against those 49ers. Okay. And then we get to our tight end, our backup tight end, Mr. Bryson Hopkins. And Mr. Hopkins, you, sir, have some explaining to do, because you are suspended for the next 3 games because you violated the NFL's substance abuse policy. That is this Sunday's game against the Cardinals. That is next Monday night against the San Francisco 49ers. And that is week 5 against the Dallas Cowboys. You can't return to play until week 6 when we play the Carolina Panthers. And everybody who gets suspended in the NFL, they get suspended without pay. Okay, you're the backup tight end. So we have to hope and pray nothing happens to Tyler Higbee, because who's going to be the backup tight end after that? It was like I think there's only you, by the way. Okay, so now we have that going on. We had to put another offensive lineman on injury reserve. We signed an offensive lineman to the practice squad. I don't have the names in front of me right now, but the offensive lineman we put on injury reserve, he will see his name coming up when I do the injury report. We signed the offensive lineman to the practice squad. We still having issues on the offensive line and stuff like that. But those is what the news and notes says right there and whatnot. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's get into it. First road game, first divisional matchup is at the site of Super Bowl 57, Glendale, Arizona, as the Arizona Cardinals, coming off their big win in Las Vegas last week, are hosting the Los Angeles Rams. Both teams are 1-1 on the season, as I mentioned earlier. Kickoff time is 4:25 Eastern Standard Time on Fox. Speaking of the Arizona Cardinals, before I get to those stats that you're looking at right here, let's dive into how the Cardinals came back on the Las Vegas Raiders in week 2. Down 20 points to the Las Vegas Raiders, the Arizona Cardinals, led by Kyler Murray, mounted a comeback to go into overtime to win the game 29-23. By the way, just like Cooper Kupp, who fumbled and the Hawks got back in, Hunter went through. The sure-handed wide receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders didn't cough it up just once, but he coughed it up twice. And then the second one was returned by Mr. Murphy himself back to the house for the game-winning touchdown that sealed it for the Arizona Cardinals in overtime. Kyler Murray was 31 for 49, 277 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. James Conner had 7 carries for 25 yards, and he ended up being injured. So Williams and Benjamin split the load. They both got 8 carries each, and Williams got a touchdown. Kyler Murray got a touchdown. Zach Ertz led the receiving corps with 8 catches, 75 yards. Hollywood Brown 6 catches, 68 yards, and one hell of a catch that was called a touchdown at first on front of review down at the 1, but still a hell of a catch. I don't even know how he caught that ball, but he did anyway. So that was a big win for the home team of the Arizona Cardinals as they get ready to face the Los Angeles Rams. As I said, the first divisional matchup with both teams, as Seattle and San Fran had their first divisional matchup last week, and we know how that is opening because I just mentioned it earlier. These teams met, last year 3 times. Road teams winning both regular season games, and then the wild card round went to the Rams in a big fashion. Outside of that, we getting ready for our first matchup with the Rams being a road team. Matthew Stafford right now has thrown for 512 yards, 4 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. Not a good ratio. Kyler Murray thrown for 470 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception. Derrick Henderson is the leading rusher with 23 carries, 94 yards and a touchdown. Williams is leading the way for the Cardinals right now with 8 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown. Cooper Kupp leading the receivers, 24 catches, 236, and 3 touchdowns. And Dodger for the Cardinals, 11 catches, 118, and a touchdown. Those are the leaders for both teams that will be going into week 3's matchup. And then get injury list here, shows you right here. Trey McCoon Jr. is on the injury reserve. That's the offensive line I was referring to. If we had to put on the injury reserve, Van Jefferson is questionable. Austin Bryson Hopkins is suspended. We have 2 cornerbacks, Kobe Durant, we talked about earlier, but also David Long Jr., who is also questionable with the injury. For the Cardinals, James Conner is questionable, Wandale Moore is questionable, and J.J. Watt is questionable, along with Ezekiel Turner is questionable. So these are the people that are questionable. These are the people who are, looking to show. But we shall see how it looks, how it goes, because it's an original round. I'm pretty sure the Cardinals want some payback for what took place in that wild card round. Because if you remember that wild card round, Kyler Murray played his worst game. You have ever saw Kyler Murray play. And not only that, that led to all the offseason stuff between Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals, where there was tension with something like, Kyler Murray even play for the Cardinals again? Do the Cardinals even want him back? Then they get the deal. And then you had that little note that says 4 hours of studying per day in that contract, which the Cardinals never put in there, but they did. And Kyler Murray done behind signed the contract, and you let the media get a hold of it, and the media's gonna run with it. And they've been running with it every time they get a chance to see Kyler Murray. Okay, so you got that hanging over Kyler Murray's head and the Cardinals head, and you can thank the Rams for that because the Rams are the one who started all that, especially in that wild card round. And then you remember the Arizona Cardinals was flying high. They came into SoFi Stadium after we beat Tampa Bay to go 3-0 in the battles unbeaten. Gave us our first loss with James Conner, Chase Edmonds running down the ball down our throat, making us look bad. By the way, Chase Edmonds is in Miami having a ball right now. You seen what they did with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle in Baltimore. Now, then the Monday night matchup, I believe it's like week 13, 14, somewhere around there, where we needed to win. And then we gave it to them on the Monday Night Football in that very building that we finna play at this Sunday. to stop that whole. And we came back to win the NFC East, which why the wild card game was in LA and not in Arizona. Oh, there's a lot going on in this one, so I'm looking forward to this game and how the Rams look, how the Rams play. So Rams, y'all got to win this game. We got to go up 2-1 because we got triple Santa Clara right after this for a Monday night game, and Jimmy G's back at quarterback. But first and foremost, we got to deal with Kyle Murray, Kingsbury, and the Arizona Cardinals. So hopefully Aaron Donald can continue his terrorizing of Kyle Murray as he been doing, because the first 2 weeks he has not been terrorizing them whatsoever. Maybe this week that Aaron Donald and that defense can start becoming back terrorizing people with a familiar for who they be terrorizing ever since this man came into the league in Kyler Murray. So we'll see how that goes. But from that, that's all I got for y'all today, man. We gonna get ready for this game. Hopefully we come out with toys and we continue on rocking and rolling with our defending championship. So I am your host, down in the Playmaker Sallins here. You have been listening to Ramily Talk, and y'all have a very lovely day. Deuces.
Thank you for listening to your new episode of Ramily Talk. And if you enjoyed the episode, go ahead and subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and whatever else that you listen to Ramily Talk on. And for those of you who are iTunes and Apple Podcast lovers, leave us a rate and review on those, and we'll gladly know how we're doing. Until next time, Darnell Playmaker signing off.